In this video, I'm going to be examining another common issue that appears in a large percentage of student reflections. I'm going to focus again on the first question. When initiating their check-in, students are asked to clearly articulate the learning intention by completing the sentence starter, "We are learning to." Now, to help them, we provided a list of commonly used verbs. However, as we work with schools and teachers, we're seeing a huge percentage of students who are struggling to identify an appropriate verb, or a large percentage of students selecting a range of different verbs and unable to agree on what they were supposed to be learning. Or, as you can see from these examples, bypassing the process altogether, and instead of using "we're learning to," they change the script to "we are learning about." The problem with this approach is that it only deals with one aspect of the lesson. The focus of the students is on knowing rather than learning and understanding, memorization rather than learning to learn. Most learning objectives follow the pattern of audience, verb, noun, context. So the example here, we're learning to identify the causes of the American Revolution. Identifying causes is a historical thinking skill, causation. It needs to be taught. So the focus of the lesson is not simply learning about the American Revolution. It's far more precise than that. It's important to remember that when planning the lesson or discussing the learning intention with your students, it's really important that we unpack each element. When we see a large percentage of students initiating the reflection with "we're learning about," it's often an indication that the teacher hasn't made both parts of the lesson visible to the students. It may be there posted on the whiteboard, but for the lesson to deliver on both the noun and the verb, the what and the how, it's important that both are taken into account when planning the lesson and both are discussed and understood by the students. So here's the challenge. For your next lesson, think carefully about the verb. Think about how you're going to require students to engage and make sure your lessons plan to accommodate the how and the what. Run a Verso check-in and use the student verb choices as feedback on the impact of your practice.